Settle in, the wacky Gun Talk After Show crew is gathered, and there's no telling what they'll say.
All right, after show time, and it is not 25 years of after show. No. I think we're about 5 years. We got Jim and Michelle, and we actually got Tom Hennig who joined us. Hey, guys.
Hey. Hello.
Hi.
Crowd there. How long for after show, Jim? I think 5 years?
I'm checking right now. 14. The first show was 6 years. 6 years as of February 16th. We missed our anniversary.
Cool. Wow, that's pretty neat.
But it only got good about a year and a half ago.
Well, that's when I joined.
Right.
Oh.
Bam.
Bam. There you go. Hey, let's take some calls before we yak amongst ourselves here. Ken's with us on one out of Medford, Oregon. Hey, Ken, you got a follow-up for us?
Yes, I do. First of all, congratulations on the 25 years. That's awesome.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Now, you had called in with a problem with the Nikon scope, and it's like it wasn't adjusting, it wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. So what did you find out?
Well, I took your advice on trying to try a few things on my own, and then I called Nikon, and they wanted me to verify that my rifle was good, that there wasn't a problem with the rifle or the ammunition, which buying new ammunition and go out and shooting at the range didn't bother me at all.
Okay.
But once I got the rifle down to where it wasn't the rifle, they told me to take the scope, all it was having problems with was the up and down, not the left or right.
Not the windage, okay.
So they said to take the deterrent, screw it all the way down to the bottom, all the way up to the top, but count how many turns, and then go halfway, and then from that point, bore sight it with a laser bore sight, and then take it to the range, and then bring the increments down instead of multiple clicks, just one click at a time, which didn't bother me because I like shooting, so I just had a whole bunch of ammo. Okay. So I shot it and brought the zero down one click at a time until it was right where it needed to be, and then I decided that to make sure it was going to stay, I brought a lot of ammunition. I set up 9 targets at 100 yards.
I thought for sure you were going to tell me that you tied a rope behind it and dragged it behind your truck for a while just to make sure it was going to stay where it's supposed to.
I was going to do that.
If this didn't work, that's what you were going to do.
Yeah, that was going to definitely happen. But I shot 9 targets at 100 yards. I shot 5-shot groups and 9 targets. Ooh. And all 9 targets with 5-shot groups I could cover with a 4-bit piece.
Wow.
Well,
they were dead.
So I came close with my advice because I said to run it up 20, run it back down 20, and then come back up. But they said to just go all the way to the stops.
Because I tried your advice, and it just wouldn't work.
So I just didn't go far enough.
Take it to stop on both ends, and then bring it back to center, which is basically where they set it from the factory.
Right.
And then adjust it from there, but only going one click at a time. That solved the problem.
Well, that's good info. I appreciate you passing that along because I think we all just learned something with that.
Yep.
So I'm thinking the same thing if I have a similar problem with, even if it's not a Nikon scope, with any other scope.
Oh, yeah.
Is to take it all the way down, bring it all the way up, take it to the halfway point, and then make your adjustments.
I like it.
So I was thrilled to death, and I got to shoot on the range all day long. So that was great, too.
It's a win-win, yeah.
Oh, please don't make me go to the range and shoot. That's just horrible.
Really, you had to. It was work that day.
Yeah, honey, I can't come home. I'm still doing my homework project over here.
I went in the morning and stayed until it was dark.
Oh, man, that's a good day at the range. And then, of course, you've got to also let the barrel cool down while you're shooting, so it just takes a while.
I think the gun is to let the barrel cool down and play with those while it was cooling down.
Okay, that's the secret for those who don't know, because you got to let your barrel cool down when you're shooting for accuracy. So you need 2, 3, actually 4 guns is about right, and that by the time you shoot groups with 4 guns, but then it's time to go back to the first one. It's cooled down enough. So basically, I kind of like to just go fill up the gun rack myself at the range when I'm doing that.
Well, I took as many as I could carry, and that was kind of it.
That's why we need friends to help us carry guns. Well, that's great.
My friends were working during the week.
Boy. So I hope you sent them pictures of you shooting and make them feel bad.
Actually, I did have a couple of people that showed up there and took some pictures so that I could mess with your head.
Perfect. Ken, thank you so much for the follow-up. It's always nice to find out what actually worked, and now I just learned something we all just did. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate your input on this one. It was really great.
You bet. All right, let's scoot down and take Dorothy in Alabama. Hey, Dorothy, how you doing?
All right, enjoyed the show. Keep it up.
Thank you.
All right. I was talking to the screener there about here in Alabama. We're open carry. So I really don't see it a lot, but a store where my husband works, Wal-Mart, they don't want employees having guns. And there was an employee that was let go, and then he came back a few weeks later. I guess the shop, like a lot do, and they asked him to leave.
He came back to shop, and they asked him to leave. Was he open carrying?
Yes, because he had a gun on his. I know, a lot of times there might be somebody disgruntled. Things happen like that.
True.
But he has to go a little further now to shop. I just wonder if he'd have a lawsuit.
No, he's got no lawsuit.
He didn't bring a gun in because of why he got fired. That wasn't much of a big deal.
Doesn't matter. The store can ask you to leave for any reason, for no reason. If you don't leave, it's trespassing. You have to leave. And so, it's their call. As if they say, look, we don't want people open carrying. I don't like it, but it's their call. They can make that decision. It's their personal property. So we get caught between the Second Amendment rights and personal property rights. And here's the other thing. Was he trying to open carry when he was working there?
No, but like I said, it is an open carry state, and they don't want employees having guns. And they also have different rules on the outside, like what goes on outside. Like they're not supposed to go out the door when they're after anyone that is shoplifting. They can get in trouble.
Good.
The employees aren't allowed to go out, out the door after anyone.
They shouldn't go out the door after anyone. It's dangerous, and it's insured, and it's stupid, and you shouldn't be trying to run somebody down for shoplifting. People get hurt doing that. There's no reason for that.
Yeah, I know. Well, they had a security guard hired at one time, and they let him go, but, he was paid, he had police training. He was, also part-time.
All right, here's a basic question. If you work at Walmart and you're making huge bucks doing that, right? No. And you can't carry a gun, so you don't have a gun, do you want to chase somebody out the door and run them down for taking stuff from Walmart? And now you are risking your life. Not me, not a bet, not ever, not a chance. You go. I don't care. It's not my stuff. I'm not doing that.
Even if it was your stuff.
Even if it was my stuff, I wouldn't chase them down.
Well,
I'd let them go.
Yeah, the question is what's waiting outside?
The unknown, yeah.
Right?
Unknown, yeah. Maybe a buddy, maybe 2 or 3 pals who may have a gun, may have a baseball bat, maybe have whatever.
Exactly.
And I want to do that because I'm going to go get the Cabbage Patch doll or whatever it is they're taking. That just doesn't add up. I understand what you're saying, Dorothy, and I appreciate that it's frustrating. There are stores that do not like open carry. That may not be what's going on here. There's something else going on. I think there's more at work here than we're hearing. It bothers me that Walmart has changed its policies a bit. They now ask people not to carry there, but they don't post it and tell people not to carry. I think this was a one-off situation. There's something else going on. But I appreciate you calling and letting us have a chance to talk about it a little bit. And look, thank you so much for listening to the show and being part of the after show. Thank you very much. Hey, guys, what I want to do is take our break early today so we can come back. We'll have more time on the backside to yak because we've got the whole after-show team here. So we'll be right back with the A-team, if you will. After-show team, A-team.
Oh, shucks.
I pity the fool.
Great.
Easy monitoring of your personal gun safe, hotel room safe, toolbox, storage unit, luggage, and more is now an option with the Lockdown Puck. All you need is a Wi-Fi connection to receive notifications from the puck on your phone about an open door, any detected motion, and even temperature and humidity readings. Secure what matters most with the Lockdown Puck. Visit lockdownpuck.com to learn more and to pre-order your puck today.
Why do hunters and shooters love the Ruger American Rifle? With right-handed and left-handed versions, all-weather, Magnum, Compact, Predator, Ranch, and Scope package options, there's a Ruger American for everyone. Lightweight with an adjustable trigger and minute of angle accuracy, Ruger American rifles pack in the features. Is the Ruger American the best rifle on the market? See for yourself at your local retailer or at Ruger.com. That's Ruger.com.
I ain't getting on no plane, Hannibal.
And we're back. Thank you for that Hannibal intro into that. Yes, the A-Team, George Papard, fun stuff. This is the after show team. And we almost never get all three of you guys in one place, Michelle, Tom Hennig, and Jim Kinsey. But we pulled you together, and you guys are sharing mics. And if you would, Jim, you might just explain that you and Tom go way back.
Yeah, we served time together, and then...
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Rikers or
Right.
whatever it is in Ohio. Okay.
Yeah, actually, Tom came to work for me about 20 years ago. He had gone to the same recording school that I went to, and he had, in their job placement kind of deal, I guess they gave him info, or somehow he found me, and we had common background, and he
saw
said...
your picture in a post office.
Yeah, exactly. I could work for a guy like that. So he came on board, and he's been an employee and a buddy for 20 plus years now.
There you go.
He tried to blow me off at first, though.
Yeah,
that's cute.
Our first phone conversation was, hey, I'm looking for some work. I've just completed this program. And he goes, well, I'd love to talk to you, but I'm really busy right now. I was like, oh, that's great that you're busy. Sounds like we could help each other out.
Ooh, nice follow-up.
He says, nice plug.
It was great.
That's a great imitation of him as well. I can hear all that going on.
Now, Tom, when you started doing gun talk, you were not a gun guy at all, were you?
No.
I didn't think so.
I was just one of those guys that I'm like, I believed that, you should be able to have whatever you want. It just wasn't my thing.
Right.
Gun neutral.
Okay, well, you have moved to one side on that these days, right?
Just a little bit to one side.
Yeah.
You're so full. He's so into it now. It is contagious, isn't it? You go, well, what it is you're thinking, everybody sounds like they're having so much fun.
Yeah, and it was one day at the studio, Jim comes and he says, today is Employee Stress Relief Day. We're closing the studio and going to the range.
Ooh, I like that.
And that was, I think, the beginning of the hook.
Jim
the hook and the gum there.
Yeah, he provides the guns for now, and then pretty soon you're out there buying guns, aren't you?
Yep.
Well, I'm still kind of supplying guns for him.
Well,
what gun?
Yeah.
Where's that gun I loaned you? What gun? Yeah. Oh, that's great. It is, it's a super team. The after show, Jim, I'm trying to remember, that may have been your idea.
Shh, no.
Yeah, it'll go to my head. Well, wait, first of all, before I answer that, do you like the after show, Tom? Do you plan on keeping the after show? Yes, it was my idea.
Such a dork.
He's such a suck up.
Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah, that was mine. All mine.
Oh,
that's all mine. If you like it, it was mine. Oh, okay,
right, okay. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, because there's other shows I had heard that they did a podcast afterwards, Glenn Beck specifically.
Right.
And I said, you know what? We got a lot of input, and I think it would be kind of neat to try. And it was like when you first came on board, I had 3 days notice. I told you about the after show on a Thursday, I think it was. I'm thinking, a month from now, we'll start that. And you're like, great, we'll do it this Sunday. Yeah.
No, we do not work that way. So, planning, preparation, no.
So, I mean, we had to modify the studio and do some stuff to make it happen. And I thought, if he bites on this, I can talk Tom into anything. If he bites on this, we'll have a month to get this all done.
No, of course, I'm thinking, hey, we'll do it in 3 days because you know what? It's not my problem. I don't have to do that.
It was your idea. You brought it to the table.
Actually, he's probably figured his time value. And he said, Kenzie calls me on the phone 45 times a week and talks about guns anyway. We could just tack it on the end of the show.
Part of the show.
Yeah, I don't have to hear him. But yeah, we tried it out and it was pretty cool and it's neat.
Well, it would have to get organized a bit to become unstructured.
Yeah.
'Cause we are anything but structured, that's for sure. It's like, where else are you going to learn about armadillos and leprosy?
It's very
point.
scientifical, yes.
Dude.
Anybody who heard that call still remembers that call, right?
Best ever.
It's the bullet-resistant leaves. Is
Yeah.
it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And he was just serious as he could be. They were growing these leaves, and they were bullet resistant or bulletproof leaves.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm wondering, am I being punked? And then you realize, no, man, this guy. Now he may have been smoking the bullet resistant leaf.
Smoking something, yeah.
I don't know, but man. And then when he says, well, it's like, I said, well, how does that work? He said, well, it's kind of scientifical. And it's like you going, oh yeah, we got a winner here. And for years, people would call in and start off with, Tom, this is kind of scientifical. And then we were off to something. It's like everybody was doing scientifical.
Yeah.
God.
Oh, that's awesome.
I just, where is that guy today?
Probably still in California going, hey, dude, pass the Fritos.
Except that now he's in Colorado and Oregon and all the other places. Where
That's true.
Hey, he might be in Michigan, Jim.
Yeah. Was it recreational there now?
I think so.
It's been medicinal for a while.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, for anybody who's still not caught up on that, if you do that, if you're into the legal weed, you are legally prohibited from buying guns.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just are. There's a part on the 4473 form, right? And the feds consider that to still be against the law on a federal basis. Doesn't matter what the state has done. So you are a prohibited person if you're doing that.
Right. And in many states, you're also prohibited, if you already own the guns, you're prohibited from carrying them. You surrender. You're supposed to surrender your CCW, but I've never heard of anybody. In all my pothead friends, I've never heard of anybody yet that has had to turn their card over. They do forfeit their rights to their CCW, but I've never heard them saying,
In some states, you get a card, and of course, now some of these states are cross-referencing that information with the information they have on gun ownership if you're in a state where they have that list, which is yet another reason not to have a list, a registration list.
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing what they would do, and maybe Michelle could shed some light on this.
I have no idea.
When you go in, come on, with all your pot experience, I would think that when you go to renew,
perhaps cast iron.
Yes,
right, that'd be it.
Don't wash them. Don't wash it. Whatever you do.
That's right.
No soap. I would guess when you go to renew it is when they probably nab you and say, "No, I'm sorry, you can't renew." Because I've got 4 or 5 people I know that I have both now, and I don't know how they're doing it. It just hasn't caught up with them.
Yeah, interesting though. It is. It's one of those deals of the landscape is changing on that. So anyway, just. If you wanted to dig into it a little bit more, you could, because, of course, it's scientifical.
That's right.
And there you go. So, high points, low points of doing all this show, Jim?
First of all, not a big high point fan or a low point fan.
Oh, man. High points are fine. They are fine. They actually, hey, you know what? If it goes off, it works as a self-defense gun.
Yeah, I just all gun guys tease about it and stuff.
I know, we all do.
I've got a buddy who's got one. He's as far as I know, he's never had a malfunction. At least on my property, he's never had a malfunction. And they make a great carbine, but it doesn't mean I'm going to stop picking on them.
No, of course not. All right, good enough.
High points, low points.
Well, technical issues would probably be the low point.
Say power outage.
Power outage.
Yeah, that's kind of rough. The tech stuff we've had has been relatively decent, I think. The stuff that really bugs me is the stuff that isn't my fault. Because the stuff that is my fault, I feel horrible about. And, you dummy, you should have known that, or you should have had a backup plan. But that stuff, fixable and learnable moments, it's the stuff that pops up out of nowhere where you're helpless going, okay, somebody throw me a bone here.
Oh, yeah. And
internet service dies in the middle of the show or something.
Yeah, because, I'm in Louisiana. I'm connected to, or I'm in Louisiana or in Colorado or in Vegas.
Incognito.
Wherever we are doing the remote. So I'm connected to you through this super sophisticated magic box we have, and then you're connected to the satellite system, and it beams it up and hits the satellites, and then that comes back down to the radio stations, and then it beams out to people's cars. There's a lot of links in this chain, and one of them could get broken at any time.
Right, and you're kind of fingers crossed every time you dial in, so to speak.
actually, when you think about it, it's kind of magical that it actually works.
Well, it's all scientifical. That's why.
Yes. Thank you.
That's why it works.
That's why
Thanks for the setup.
I handed you that softball, dude.
Yes, you did. I smashed
And
it.
here, I thought for sure you were going to say the high point was when you asked me to come on to the team, but that's okay.
So,
sorry.
back to these high point carbines.
Sorry. I heard a woman's voice. Who is that?
That's the lovely Michelle. Hi, Michelle. She's still beaming from her interview earlier. She's signing autographs later. And
Right, yeah.
High-fiving, yeah. But, Michelle, you are a delight. You're so much fun to have on the show.
Oh, well, thanks, Tom.
While it lasted.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
admit-
Hopefully we can run you down another 25 years of this radio thing.
Oh, God, like Brian Wilson says, every time you're on, I mean, we lose 3 or 4 stations, but, it's okay. Oh, God. No, it's I think people understand when they listen to the after show, kind of the whole feel, the culture of what we do. And, when you guys walk in, it's to the office, it's fun. It's, we're working, but it's all fun. I said early on, I mean, I don't know if you guys remember, I think I mentioned to Jim, maybe not to you guys. I said, look, here's the deal. 25 years ago, I said, I will do this until it stops being fun because I'm not going to do it if it's not fun. Mm-hmm. Basic rule. I mean, just not. I learned the hard way that jobs that suck the life out of you. Mm-hmm. Not going to do that. And so this is like the exact opposite of that because holy cow, do we have fun. We get to talk about cool stuff.
Come on, you guys, just admit it. Yeah, we have fun. Just play along with it.
Yeah.
It's great fun, Tom.
That's okay. We'll take your leg irons off later and let you out of there.
And our semi-organized chaos.
Yeah, how does that go? The beatings will continue until the morale improves?
Yes,
Right.
exactly right.
Oh, that's funny. You have that sign right there above your computer, but that's okay.
That's okay.
That's all right.
Of course, Michelle invented we like it that she invented the 327 Federal cartridge, which is great.
Yes. The world is welcome.
That's right. You're welcome, world.
Oh, goodness. We all have something.
Yeah, we do. One of the changes I'm thinking that we have seen, and just thought about this, 25 years ago, if somebody says they were serious about concealed carry, they were carrying a 45.
Oh, absolutely.
And they made fun of people. Made fun of people who carried 9mm, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Called them mouse guns, I like the guy who says, well, if somebody ever shot me with one of those and I found out about it, I'd be mad.
Well, and then the one firearm that everyone was afraid of, the Saturday Night Special.
Oh, yes. Right.
Mm-hmm. That was a killer.
That was one of those, again, the gun ban groups, they come up with these terms to frighten people. Saturday Night Special, junk guns, assault weapons, which is one that stuck really well.
Yeah,
sniper rifles for any hunting gun. They just put some kind of scary name on it and then say it 100,000 times. And then
Ghost guns.
Black guns.
Ghost guns now. That's right. We have ghost guns, And they're not talking about Casper. We're talking about ghost guns. Not friendly ghosts.
I ain't afraid of no ghost.
Or sorry.
And certainly not Patrick Swayze.
Oh,
we probably couldn't get the rights to play the Ghostbusters
I thought
theme
for
music,
sure.
but that'd be fun.
Yeah, you're right. You should have that. I ain't afraid of no ghost. I thought for sure you'd have Brad Pitt on today calling me and saying, Michelle, I'm so glad that
he couldn't make it on the show, but he's coming over for the barbecue tonight. Are you going to be there for that?
I didn't know there was one.
Tom,
Nice.
Tom, ixnay on the barbecue.
Oh,
Tom.
you didn't? Okay.
So how about those high points?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Nice club.
Boy. Suppose the guy called one time and he had a high point. You guys, this was way, way, way back. I was even making fun of him just for having fun with the guy. And he was telling me about it, and it was not functioning, and this was a problem. And I said, well, you don't happen to own a boat, do you? He said, well, yeah, I got a boat. I said, well, that's great, because now you got an anchor.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, geez.
Now they got a new gun out, a recent gun. Is it the 2, Model 2, or
High point?
Yeah, and then they're much more reliable than their first version.
They call it the higher point?
Yes. You thought you were high before point, but now we're really...
Our elevation's changing.
We're moving up.
Yep.
Yeah,
exactly.
they have a newer model, and it is highly reliable. So we're just, you high point people and high points lawyers. Yeah, we're just ribbing you.
Everybody's making good guns now. It's Well, they have to. Because 25 years ago, you could actually make a gun that wasn't very good and pretend when people called and said, I'm having a problem, they'll say, well, yours is the first time we've ever heard of this.
Right.
Now you can point to, 1,000 reviews online and reports on what's going on, and they can't hide anymore.
Well, and if they don't stand behind their product, you simply move on to a new company.
Boy, isn't that the truth?
Yeah, you become a loyalist to whomever else.
So, and word gets around.
Yes,
I was thinking about something else. Talk about the difference in 25 years. You can learn anything now with online, but specifically YouTube. Yes. Now, if you want to learn, think of 25 years ago, if you wanted to learn how to reload, you had to try to understand the instructions from a book. And when they're telling you, you put the cartridge case in the RAM and you run it up, and now you just watch the video. You can learn anything. Now, the flip side of that is anybody can put something on YouTube, and there's a lot of stupid stuff going on there. So you choose your sources, but just think about that. How many times have you needed to know how to do something, change a light socket, or, hey, build an AR-15? It's all right there. So that's all well and good until YouTube decides no more gun stuff. But boy, there's, I don't know. They demonetize some of the gun stuff so people can't actually make money off their videos. But there have to be, who knows, tens of millions of gun videos on YouTube.
It'd kind of be interesting to see what that ratio was of guns to whatever else.
Well, I know that for me, it's a very high percentage of the YouTube videos that I ever watch because I don't care about the rest of them for the most part. So there's that. Well, anything that involves making noise, I'm kind of into that. Guns, cars, airplanes, boats.
Yeah, see, we need to start G-Tube.
G-Tube. Several people have actually tried doing gun-related video sites. And the problem is that the weight of YouTube just smothers everything.
Yeah, I don't mean instead of YouTube. I mean as a backup plan for when they S-can it. We're not starting from scratch.
Yeah, there are people doing exactly that right now. And until I see a little bit more traction on any of them, I don't want to go on a limb and start promoting anybody. But yeah, people are starting to think about that of what's our backup plan. When Facebook says no gun stuff, when Twitter says no gun stuff,
right?
And all of a sudden, that's like shutting down the information highway. Honestly, if you don't have YouTube and you don't have Facebook, you've cut out the method to basically to communicate with people.
That's okay. You can still trust Google.
Yes, always. Because let's see. Oh, yeah, Google owns Twitter.
Right.
Well, and then, of course, the real problem we have with that is all the antis are still out there with their jargon. We just can't say anything back.
No, you're right. Exactly right. But we can interact directly, and that's part of the 20 and 2020, and we're doing what we can. And showing up is the deal. So I would say that if you looked at 25 years of gun talk, that would be one of the things I'm the proudest of is trying to mobilize people and get people involved. And I'm seeing, not claiming that we're doing it, but people are much more involved now than they were in the past.
Well, there's a lot of self-gain to being part of the political scene right now. I mean, obviously, we're in a fight, a true fight, even though people don't believe it.
Right.
It's in existence. But how else are you going to have a communication to the numbers that you need to have?
Right. Exactly right.
It has to be through radio and unfortunately through the internet. That's a lot of the media information. But
right. And if people will get involved in their state groups, they have websites for each state group, and they'll have chat rooms and bulletin boards and forums, and they can do all of that. And those are important as well. So it's that old deal of, well, how do I do this? Everywhere you can. Just keep looking for more ways and keep asking people, how do I talk with you? Where do you go on the internet? All the rest of it.
Well, I tell you what, I like KJ's idea.
Yeah.
About wearing his gun talk hat and proudly wearing out in public because
just
there'll be people.
There.
Yeah, there'll be people. It's visibility, number one. Number two, you occasionally get a chance to talk to people, and at which point you're an ambassador.
Yeah, KJ wears his #guns hat everywhere, and he said for the most part, almost all the comments are favorable. It starts interesting conversations.
Or no conversation at all.
Right. Well, think about that. If you're anti-gun and you see a guy wearing a gun hat, he's probably not going to be the one you want to start an argument with.
Well, there's that too. But it is interesting how many times somebody will go, "What is that?" And then you just start talking about it, and you have, if not found a friend, you found at least a soulmate or something. You found somebody you can have an interesting conversation with. Right. But to your point, we need to stop hiding the fact that we're gun people. Bumper stickers, and people say, "Oh, I don't want to put any gun bumper stickers on my car." I don't even want to say what I would like to say about that because it would offend a lot of people. I mean, there's a certain point. I don't want to go to there. But yeah, you're either in or you're out. Don't be ashamed of who we are. If you think it's something you should be ashamed of, are you really a Second Amendment supporter?
Right.
Yeah, they've won. They've won by making you hide in your closet and not speak.
Yes.
Well, and the other thing, keep in mind, there's tons of anti-gun people, no matter what. You could pay them to have an open mind and switch sides. They're never going to. What we're looking at is the people that are in the middle of the road. Mm-hmm. And we are ambassadors, and those are the people we have to convert. They're sitting on the fence, and we could, to use another cliche, and we can be persuasive to those people. Conversely, we can also be idiots and open carry an AR-15 because it's legal, and
it is my right.
Totally dissuade those people. It's not effective in helping us. I understand that it's your right, but it's always the question of, does it help us win?
And
I think
doesn't mean it's smart.
Right. Well, and we've talked about this so many times, but you have to kind of hammer home. It's important to get women involved in these sports because women get involved. They find out that it's safe. They find out that it's fun. That spark is ignited. And guess who they bring along? Friends, other women, children. Maybe their husbands.
Maybe they drag their husbands along.
Right.
But, and if you have a shooting range, you need to be having a women's night. You need to have a women's shooting league. You need to have women-only classes.
Mm-hmm.
So Tom and I can hang outside the range on Wednesday night.
Weirdos, I saw you.
Yes.
And I noticed the dresses.
we're known as creeps for gun rights.
Trying to sneak into class.
It was the hairy legs that gave it away.
But they turn kind of blonde in the sun. Knock it off, Biden.
Oh, Lord.
Yes, and we're back.
Well, you mentioned creeps. It was just a good segue.
25 years was a nice run, wasn't it, Tom?
Yeah. I figured we'd go out in a blaze of glory. I didn't know we were just going to drown ourselves here.
Nobody really listens to this, Tom. You know that.
There's that, too. There's, after a while you think, I'm just talking to myself. I hear myself in this box. Is there anybody else?
And even I'm not interested.
That's right. I'm sorry. I'm bored with myself now. Okay. I'm going to go on to
my goodness.
binge watching MacGyver or something.
Oh, MacGyver.
That's good stuff right there.
Yeah.
Guarantee you. Well, speaking of, I got to go MacGyver up an airplane and go fly a veteran.
Attaboy.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that breaks my heart.
What kind of mileage did you get flying a veteran?
A lot
of drag, or
load up your Suburban and drive it backwards at 55 miles an hour, and that's the kind of mileage you get out of an airplane.
There you go.
It's pretty awful. That's what it is. But that's okay. It's I got a little putt-putt wind-up engine. This is the newest airplane I've ever owned. It's a 1979 model.
Wow.
I know, practically brand new.
Every year you got to re-rubber band it, or?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, to get your buddies to, hey, I got to go a long way. I need some buddies to help me wind this one up. But it's fun. You get to putt around.
That's important work that you're doing, Tom.
Well, I appreciate it. It's, I look at that and go, yeah, I never served, and I can't. It won't take me now, that's for sure. So what can I do? Well, it's a little bit something I can do.
You are serving.
Well, I appreciate that. That's awfully nice of you. Guys, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate the Gun Talk team. You guys are truly wonderful and a pleasure to work with, and it is a joy every Sunday when we get to do this, and I mean that seriously. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you, Tom.
All right. You guys take care. Be good. And if you find any cool guns, buy them and send them to me.
Sure. Your address, go ahead, put that out there.
Status quo.
I thought I'd just give it a shot, If you don't try, you don't get. There you go.
Oh, goodness.
All right. Headed for runway 29er here. See you later, guys.
Buddy, up. Take care.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for checking out the after show. And don't forget to join the Gun Talk Truth Squad at guntalk.com and grab Gun Dealio for your smartphone. It'll save you money on guns, ammo, and more.